welcome to the Hacienda. Ribbit here. Today we're going to make something really special. A 2,000-year-old recipe called Parthian chicken. Now, I didn't know anything about this up until about 2 weeks ago, and I discovered it. It's an ancient Roman recipe called Parthian chicken, and it comes to us from Apicius, culinary writer back in about 54 AD. Parthia was the empire in Persia between the first and second Persian empires. They straddled the silk and spice route, so the Romans didn't have a lot of spices, but they traded with the Parthians, and they stole the Parthians' recipe and jazzed it up the Roman way. The key ingredients for this stuff are two. First, we got Asafoetida, which I never knew about either, but Mrs. Rivet did. It is comes from the Asafoetida plant, which grows in the Central Asian region. It's a unique spice in the sense that, it's got such a good smell. People either like it or they hate it. It smells, Asafoetida is part of the family of celery, carrot, and parsley. And it smells like onion, garlic, and celery. It's got a sulfurous smell in there, but apparently it diffuses when you cook with it, and it's really good, and it is a must for Parthian chicken. The next thing the Romans did to jazz it up, they added garum. Garum is their fish sauce. We don't have garum today, but you can get fish sauce at any Asian market, and this is Italian fish sauce. It's made purely out of anchovies, and I've gone through many bottles. It's really good stuff. Plus the Romans added wine. So I'm going to show you how to make the marinade, and let's get cooking. Here are the spices for the marinade, and they'll be in the notes below, so you can write them down. We got about, I'd call this 3/4 cup of parsley. Celery leaves are very important. What do we have here? Alright, I got a brain fart. That's celery powder. And this is caraway seeds. Also, a large amount of coarse ground black pepper is unique to this recipe. We're going to use Chianti, and we got some olive oil. So let's make the marinade. Alright, in a nice bowl, we're going to start out with half a bottle of Chianti. We may have to add more because I've got a lot of chicken. Essentially, I'm doubling this recipe because it says everywhere I read it's so good. Now we got some Tuscanini extra virgin olive oil, and we're going to go with about half a cup, maybe 3/4 of that. Okay, and to that we'll add this pepper, celery powder, caraway seed, celery leaf, and parsley. And we're going to have a generous tablespoon, maybe more, of Asafoetida. Now the Romans love their garum, so we're going to be generous with this. There are no quantities, so we're going to call it about 3 tablespoons. Let's mix that up. Wow, that already smells amazing. Okay, so we're going to get the chicken, put it in a bag, and pour in the marinade. Okay, here are 8 thighs, bone in, skin on, well massaged. And they're going to go in the fridge and marinate overnight. I told you I'm making double the recipe. I got another bag off camera there with the other half of the sauce. So we'll see you tomorrow. Welcome back, everybody. Through the miracle of time, it is now tomorrow, and I have taken the chicken out of its marination bags. I have drained, I put them all on a colander inside a big bowl. So I've drained the marinade to reserve to make the gravy. Here's the chicken thighs. I told you I was making 2 packs. Now they're going into a preheated 350-degree Fahrenheit oven. Okay, now we're going to make the gravy. I've elected to leave all the solids in the marinade. I think it'll give it a more rustic look and possibly flavor. Okay, so now we're going to cook this. So any raw chicken juice and stuff is going to be cooked through. So in the Roman way, we are going to add some Italian wine, Pinot Grigio, and we're going to add about a cup. Okay, yeah, that's about a cup. All right, let's continue cooking. All right, so the gravy so far has been simmering like that for about 35 minutes, and the alcohol from the wine is boiled off, but it smells really good. So now we're going to add some Beurre manié that I made to start thickening it up, and we'll add half of it right now, a generous tablespoon, and see how that goes. Alright, so the gravy, after I added another teaspoon or so of Beurre manié to this, so it's thickened up to just the perfect consistency. And I tasted it. It was great for salt and flavors, but it seemed a little flabby. Mrs. Ribbit thought the same thing. So after brainstorming a little bit, I added 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Oh my gosh, game changer. Totally perfect. Added a lot of depth to the gravy. I don't know how only 1 tablespoon could do that, but it did. So the gravy's ready. Alright, so here we have the deliciously roasted chicken. Parthian chicken with some French fries. But that's not all. No, we gotta gussy it up. And please forgive the noise, that's the dishwasher. Poor coordination on my end. Here's some delicious gravy. Yum. And to that, for the final beautification, fresh chopped parsley. Oh yeah, Roman style. Romans love their parsley. Okay. Doesn't that look good? Smells awesome. Alright, so let's cut into it and take a bite. I didn't make these French fries. These are just Checkers from the grocery store, but we like them. Oh, that skin is very nice and crispy, just like it should be. Now, for those of you who do not know about Parthian chicken, there are 2 ways to make this: braised in its marinating liquid, or roasted. I opted for the roasted version because I like roasted chicken. The braised version comes out with really soggy, rubbery skin, which I don't like, but I do love crispy chicken skin. So let's try this. Wow. Let me tell you, all those blogs and articles I read weren't kidding. All those Asafoetida, garum, Colatura De Alici, everything suffuses into something you can't put your finger on. There is no one taste here other than delicious. And I'm trying to locate the Asafoetida in here, and I cannot. That's some seriously good stuff. I want to find it more recipes where I can use it in. That gravy, delightful. Came out really well. And you notice I did not use pan drippings for the chicken. Straight marinade with the wine. What is the overall flavor of that chicken? Sumptuous. There's a lot of depth to the flavor. I wouldn't say richness because it's chicken, but there's a lot of oomph to there. And yeah, I'd make it again in a heartbeat. Absolutely, 10 out of 10. Thanks for watching, people. You all take care.